So friends, we are back again and welcome back to Akar physics classes. We are going through a series of session for the chapter motion. Okay, this is session number 13.2. The class is 9th and CBSE board class. We are going through the topic of graphical presentation of motion, and we have already done one of the topics under this graph. In that also, the second topic which we are going through is a speed time graph, and in this also we have done the very first topic of this we have already completed. Okay, and this is the second one which we are going to start, in which change in speed of the motion of the body under motion is at uniform rate. Okay, so we are going to discuss it today. Later on I'll be giving you a brief description about how many types are there after this after the completion of this graphical presentation. But right now we are going to discuss about a speed time graph when the change in speed of the body is at uniform rate. Okay, in this case also we are having two types of cases in which initial when the first case is when you are having initial velocity as a 0, and the second case is when initial velocity is not equal to 0. So we are going to discuss first of all this one, in which initial velocity is assumed to be 0. Okay, so how to present in what to present in the graph, let us see. As you know, we are having two ordinates for any of the graph. When we are going to present, we are going to have two ordinates. One is x-axis, the other one is y-axis. So on the abscissa side you are going to present time, that is on x coordinate you will present time as we have been doing so, and here it is the speed which is on the y-axis. Okay, now you can see that the change in speed is uniform. That means by the passes of time, or you can say that there is equal amount of change in speed in equal intervals of time. Okay, if you are having equal intervals of time, if you create slots in time, so at equal intervals you will get equal intervals of equal amount of change in speed. Okay, so if it is say 20 kilometer per hour, here it could be 40 kilometer per hour, here it could be 60 kilometer per hour, here it could be 80 kilometers per hour. Okay, so you can see the change is constant here, or uniform, not constant, uniform. And here you can say if it is 2 hours, here it is 4 hours, here it could be 6 hours, and here it could be 8 hours. Okay, so the change which is shown in this case, that is known as uniformity. Okay, uniform. Now one thing here to note is that your speed time graph, in this case, what are you going to actually get a speed time graph? So since the rate of change of a speed is uniform, definitely you are going to get uniform acceleration. Okay, so you can say that rate of when rate of change of speed is uniform, so definitely it implies that your acceleration is going to be, the acceleration which you are going to get is also uniform. And when the acceleration is uniform, or when the rate of change of a speed is uniform, it means what? That your speed is directly proportional to, what it implies, that this one is giving you what? That is speed is directly proportional to time. And directly proportional, what does it mean? When speed is going to increase, definitely time is going to increase, or if there is decrease in speed, time also will decrease. Okay, this is the meaning of proportionality. Okay, now since speed is directly proportional to time, that means you are going to get straight line graph. What will you get? A straight line graph will be obtained by you. Okay, so we are going to construct the graph here. Now since the speed of the motion, we have taken initial velocity is 0 here, we have considered the first case. So initial velocity is what? It is 0. So let us construct. With the passes of time, you can see the speed is also changing, and since it is at uniform rate, so definitely suppose after some time you are getting at this one here, then you can get here, then you can get here, and so on. So speed is uniform, definitely you are going to get a straight line. Okay, now this straight line is showing you what? It is uniform acceleration. What does it show? It is uniform acceleration, which is shown by this line. This is straight line. Okay, now let us try to calculate. We are going to calculate with this graph. What we are going to calculate? Two things. We will try to calculate first of all the acceleration out of this graph. Okay, we'll find out acceleration, and the second thing which we are going to find out from this graph is the distance traveled by the body. Okay, distance traveled. So these two we are going to find out. We are going to get from this graph. Let us try to find out. Now let the point where we want to find where we want to calculate the acceleration, let the point taken by us is suppose here. After some time we are going to consider a point, say it is here, and let it be Q. Okay, if this is O, origin, okay, let it be Q, and let us draw one perpendicular at Q. We are going to draw perpendicular at Q such that that perpendicular meets this line graph, this acceleration, say at point, say P. Okay, now you can see we are getting a triangle in this case. Okay, now if we are getting a triangle, now let us try to find out the acceleration out of this graph. Okay, so I'm going to find out acceleration. So how to find acceleration? By the definition of acceleration, if we take acceleration as A, then by the definition of acceleration, what is the definition of acceleration? As I have discussed already, it is change in rate of change of velocity or rate of change of speed. So we can say change in speed with time. Okay, so time taken. So it is given by change in speed upon time taken. Now what is going to be change in speed from this graph? Okay, we have to find the value of change in speed. What is change in speed here? Now see, you can see when we are assuming this one, you can see here this perpendicular has been drawn and we are getting one line over here. Okay, we are getting this line which is meeting this line at P. If we construct, or if we draw another line parallel to time axis from this point P such that it meets y axis, say at R. Okay, now you can see that from O to R you are getting the speed, right? You are having speed at O to R. This is change in speed, right? Speed is changing from 0 to R, right? So change in speed is what? OR. So you can write here OR, and then it is upon, what is the time taken from here to here? Time taken is OQ. Can you see? Time taken is from here to here. This from origin to R. This is your change in speed. So you have written OR. And from O to Q, you can see the time taken by the body is O to Q. So it is going to be OQ. Understood this much? Now see, instead of OR, can we replace this OR by QP? Why? Because this line is parallel to this line and this line is parallel to this line. It means PQ is going to be parallel to, PQ is going to be equal to OR. So instead of writing OR, let us write PQ upon OQ. Okay, so we can write here acceleration is equal to PQ upon OQ. Okay, we are writing here acceleration is equal to PQ upon OQ. Okay, now if you observe carefully, this is the by the definition. Okay, how we have got this much we have obtained by the definition of acceleration, है ना? ये हमने जब डेफिनेशन देखा, डेफिनेशन ऑफ एक्सेलरेशन, हमने इसको यूज़ करते हुए डेफिनेशन ऑफ एक्सेलरेशन यूज़ करके हमने ये ऑब्टेन किया है. लेकिन जब हम इसको ध्यान से देखते हैं तो फिगर के अकॉर्डिंग, ग्राफ के अकॉर्डिंग हमने देखा कि दिस स्लोप यू कैन सी पी क्यू अपॉन ओ क्यू, एक्चुअली इट रिप्रेजेंट्स द स्लोप, राइट? You can see PQ upon OQ is giving you slope. So PQ upon OQ can be written as slope, or you can also say it as gradient. इसका मतलब कि इस ग्राफ का जो स्लोप है, it is giving you actually the acceleration. Okay, so we can write, we can conclude from it. What is the conclusion which we are going to get out of it? The conclusion here is that that slope of the speed time graph, okay, the slope of the speed time graph of a moving body gives its acceleration. Understood? Okay, so here we are getting what? We can write that acceleration is equal to slope of the non-uniform, slope of the graph. Okay, you can see here. The acceleration is given by from here to here. This is going to give you the acceleration, right? And by the we have started how we have derived up to this equation. So from the definition we have started and we have got the slope, and the value of slope is giving you what? It is giving you the acceleration. Understood? Now let us find the distance. What is the distance traveled? When we talk about the distance, actually distance traveled by the body is given by the area covered by the graph. You can see the area which is covered by this line graph, okay, this one line, okay. So let us see this one area, right? So distance of the moving body is given by what? Area covered by the line graph I am writing, okay. Okay, so it is what is the shape of this area which is being covered here? You can see here it is a triangle, okay. So let us write area of triangle. Which triangle it is? Say OPQ. OPQ. Can we find the area of this triangle by dividing the area of rectangle by half, okay, by 2? You can see that this area is just equal to the area of this. You can see that if this we are going to consider, actually this is a rectangle. It is it has, I think you are able to find out that this is not a square, it is rectangle shape, okay. So if we find half the area of rectangle, if we can write half the area of rectangle, okay. Now why half the area of rectangle we have written? Because this area of triangle OPQ can be taken out by finding the area of this whole rectangle and dividing it by 2, because you can see that diagonal divides the rectangle into 2 equal parts, okay. So here instead of writing area of triangle OPQ, we can write area of rectangle and we'll just divide it by 2 so that we can get this amount only this much. We will remove this amount and we are getting this, right? So we can write instead of area of triangle OPQ, we can write instead of that, we can write half area of rectangle. And let us write the area of rectangle. What is area of rectangle? We can put here either you can write OQ upon OQ into PQ, or you can write OR into OQ. Any of the things you can write. So you can write here O half into OQ into PQ, or else you can write half OR into OQ, okay. Anything, either this one or this one, you can use any of the things and you will be able to find. So you will be able to find what? You are going to find the area, distance of the distance covered by the body, okay. Understood everyone? Fine. So we are finished with this topic here, and I hope you have understood. There is one more part of it which is related to when the velocity is not 0. In that case the graph is, let me take another page. So we are having another case, as I have told you that there were two cases. This is case number 2, case B, in which initial velocity is not equal to 0. So for such cases, what type of graph we are going to get? So let us try to find out. Again, we are having say 2 axes and the x-axis is providing you presentation of time is there on x-axis, okay, and presentation of speed on the y-axis, right? and we are not going to get a graph from the origin here in this case. Okay, since the body is not having initial velocity as 0, so it must be somewhere on the speed line graph. I mean, on the y-axis it can be taken somewhere. Say suppose the body is starting from here. Suppose the body has the initial velocity this one. Okay, so from this the and since the acceleration is uniform, because the rate of change of speed is uniform, because the speed is changing uniformly, so again in this case also we are going to get a straight line graph, right? Okay, so you can see that again we are getting a straight line only, but it is not started from the origin because initial velocity is not considered 0 in this case. So such cases where the motion is there, motion of the body is there, but the initial velocity is not 0, but yes, if the speed is the change in speed is at uniform rate, change in speed is at uniform rate, again the same situation will be there, that you are going to get what? Uniform acceleration. And since uniform acceleration is there, it shows that this speed is directly proportional to time, and definitely you are going to get a straight line graph, right? So you are getting again the straight line graph, but the line graph which you are going to get, the straight line which you are going to get here again is what? It is not from the origin, it is a little away from the origin or to the point where the initial velocity is given. Okay, now in such cases how will you calculate the acceleration? Remember, in such cases, if initial velocity is provided to you, you are provided with initial velocity provided. Okay, there is some initial velocity u. Okay, u is what? Initial velocity. And if you reach to point, say v, okay, say this is u, and say this is there is some point here v. Okay, so in such cases, if the velocity is here, say v, okay, so you can this is initial velocity, or you can say speed. We are considering speed in all the cases. We'll use the word speed only, and the v is final velocity. Okay, so in both the cases, what you are going to do, you can just observe these two, and simply to get acceleration you have to do v minus u. That means final velocity, final speed minus initial speed. Understood? So this is how you will get the acceleration. Acceleration is what? A v minus u. That is, acceleration is equal to v minus u, means final velocity minus initial velocity. Right? Now what about the distance covered? How to find distance here? How the body is going to cover? How to find the distance covered by the body? Now in this case you can see again that distance this is the uniform acceleration which is shown on here, and you can see that again this one, the area which is covered by this is now going to give, as I have told you, that the area which is covered by the graph to the axis, time axis, will give you the distance of the body. So you can see here the area covered is this one. We will just find the area of this. So distance covered will be equal to area of, you can see this line. If we at this point we are finding the distance at this point, say this point is suppose A, okay, and at this point if we draw a perpendicular, it reaches to say a point C, and it meets to this line graph. Okay, this line, it meets at C. So and here say it is B. Okay, so you can find the area of this, right? And since this is perpendicular, so this is going to be parallel to this. What does it show? That OACB, this is actually a shape of a trapezium. Okay, so how to find the distance? Area of trapezium, and the trapezium is OACB. Okay, so distance covered will be taken out by area which is covered by this graph. Okay, this straight line Okay, area covered by this straight line and this time axis, the area which is covered under these two lines will be giving you the distance. Okay, so you can see here, after covering the area, after checking it out, you can see that this is the shape of a trapezium. So we are going to write the formula of trapezium here, and the formula of trapezium, area of trapezium is what? Area of trapezium is given by sum of parallel sides into h upon 2. So what is sum of parallel sides? Sum of parallel sides means OB plus AC. Okay, so it will be let me continue another one. So it is going to be okay. So distance is given by, say this is distance which we are finding out, and it is giving you what? Sum of parallel sides. So in this case you can see parallel side OB and AC, right? So OB plus AC and into height is what? Which is going to be the height in this case? You can say this is the height, OA. Okay, so into OA and upon 2. So this is going to give you the distance. This formula is going to give you the distance, distance of the moving body which is not having the initial velocity 0. Okay, in such cases you can find the area of this trapezium to get the distance of this motion of the body, this moving body, which distance covered by the moving body. Okay. Now one more thing is there. Let me have one discussion again. Say in case 3, actually it is not the case. Initially, when the initial velocity is 0, one more thing is that which you should keep in your mind, that if you are having such type of graph in which the time is there on the x-axis, okay, and y-axis is showing you the speed, but the line graph which you are getting is like this way. Okay, if you are getting this type of a line graph, in such cases you are getting uniform acceleration, but the word acceleration cannot be used because it is downward. Since it is showing you downward acceleration, that means downward acceleration actually is equal to retardation. We call it as a retardation. So it is uniform retardation. Okay, this one was the point which was just left out, so we are covering this also. Okay, so we are having we have completed today what? A speed time graph when the change in speed is in equal amount in equal intervals of time, that is the change in speed is at uniform rate. Okay, in this we have discussed 3 things. The first thing is that when the initial velocity is 0, we have taken out how to find out acceleration and how to find out distance. Okay, and then when initial velocity is not equal to 0, how to find acceleration and how to find distance. And then third thing which we have studied is what? Retardation. We have seen how the uniform retardation is shown in such cases. Now in case of retardation, the uniform speed, what will happen to speed? The change in speed, the amount of change in speed is not increasing in equal intervals of time, it is decreasing in equal intervals of time. Okay, only this is the difference in between uniform retardation and uniform acceleration. Okay, so I hope you have understood all the 3 cases and all these distance time graph about uniform acceleration. We'll come up with another video with another topic. Till then, thank you, bye bye, take care.